Welcome everyone to the House of Dre's channel. I am your host, the man who controls this channel for whatever reason or another. My name is Dre. Make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe to the video. That will just help me out greatly. Today, found an article. This article says 5 reasons why Naruto is still hyped in 2026. Now, I keep saying this all the time. I believe Naruto is my favorite anime of all time, despite me watching so many animes so far on my ever growing list of stuff to watch and read with the mangas. And it's to me, it's like a culture shock for me personally because every time like I'm scrolling through YouTube or scrolling through social media and people are just discussing Naruto's and stuff like that, it's like, man, this anime really has its hold on a lot of people, and I'm definitely happy about that. I'm definitely happy about that. I always will be. So we're gonna take a look at this article on why this person believe 5 reasons why they think it's still hype in 2026. This was made in June of 2026. 2026, June 26th. That was yesterday. That's what's up. That was yesterday. First time I'm actually up to date on an article. So that should give y'all some sort of hope of me doing better. So let's get started. We're going to be reading everything that they said on here. So let's start it. They said number one, Boruto has maintained interest in the franchise. Let's talk about that. They said one of the reasons behind Naruto's popularity appears to come from the recent success of Boruto, the Two Blue Vortex manga, which continues to attract a large number of readers. Well, I don't know who's that supposed to be. Manga Plus platform reveals that it is currently coming in second position in the rankings of the hottest manga titles, just behind One Piece. The good performance of this manga provides that the fact that it has managed to gain popularity both among old fans of Naruto and new fans. Characters such as Boruto and I want to say it's Kiwi. I'm not too sure. I've never read it. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Have earned a big fan base for themselves. Even those who have left reading Boruto manga have started reading Two Blue Vortex again because it resembles storylines of Naruto quite a lot. It's right there. You can tell that's what they're putting the rankings at to showcase that is one of the top 5 in the world, top 2 behind One Piece, which is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Spy Family. I didn't realize Spy Family would be so high up. Not gonna lie to you guys. Um, Boruto is such a very interesting thing. I've seen people praise it, and I've seen people who hates it. So let's say it's just Boruto has maintained interest in the franchise. It's give or take. To me, it's give or take. I don't know if that's truly real. I mean, I don't know if that's really a thing. Not really a thing. I don't know if that's really why the Naruto franchise is so still hype in 2026 because there's one side of the fence that hates the Boruto manga, that hates everything about Boruto, that people just doesn't like Boruto at all, and then there's the other side where people love Boruto so much. So I'm in the middle, quite honestly. I started watching the Boruto and reading the manga. I think that was a couple years ago, but I stopped reading it. I forgot why I stopped reading it. I don't remember why I stopped reading it. It was cool. It was cool. It's just trying to transform that thinking process from what Naruto was doing its run versus what Boruto is right now. And I know the Two Blue Vortex, I know that one's kind of like their time skip. So you had the Boruto regular, and then they did the time skip. Same thing with Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Naruto was like, here's your humble beginnings, and then Shippuden just upped it so much. So the Two Blue Vortex, I would assume, not too for sure, never read it. I was assuming it's just taking everything up a notch, like take that next step into progressing the series. Um, but I know also a lot of people. I know another thing is because characters like Naruto and Sasuke continue to get stronger or to continue to be heavily involved in the Boruto storyline, which I mean, give or take, some people hates that idea, some people like that idea. I'm like in the middle with it. I mean, I haven't really discussed too much about Naruto here on the channel. We will begin to our Naruto um reviews at some point here. At some point, probably give me probably about August or something. I don't know yet. I don't have a schedule set up for nothing. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I ain't gonna lie, I just get on here and record. But I mean, I can see it. I can definitely see it, but it's it's in the middle. It's in the middle. I can argue yeah, and I can also argue no. It's in the middle. In the middle. I really don't know what much to say about that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know much to say about that. But shout out to the Boruto fan base if that is your thing. Number two, Naruto's emotional story still connects with new fans. Another strength of Naruto that it has maintained all along is its emotional storyline. It is quite an experience watching how the outcast of the village becomes its hero, and it never gets repetitive despite multiple rewatches. Other than that, episodes such as Naruto versus Pain and Naruto versus Sasuke also makes each viewing entertaining. Additional, the emotional connection between the characters and the likable characters has contributed to the high number of streamers on Netflix for the series. This is because, as per the what we watch report by Netflix, 45 million were streamed in the first half of 2025 from Netflix. You really didn't connect. You said emotional story, but you really didn't give too much details about the emotional storyline that it is the Naruto universe outside of the whole outcast to the hero. Other than that, you just went into battles. You said personal, emotional connections. Now I understand articles. Some articles they put out as minimal, like hitting a certain word counts and stuff per article just to make an article or whatever. Y'all know how I am. I'm very person that's deep into the whole. Give me more stuff in there so I can read it more. Personally, the emotional story of Naruto, it's not really too emotional in my personal opinion. A lot of anime protagonists, main characters, a lot of the main focus on a lot of characters, they kind of almost have the exact same story, just a little bit different twists to it, if that makes sense to y'all. Because in Dragon Ball, it's just Goku's adventures, especially without a father, without a mother. Even his grandfather died early on in his early on in his life, and it's just following his adventures of Goku. In Bleach, Ichigo has his dad and his two sisters, but his mom passed away, and his mom was like a lot of connections to a lot of things that happen in Bleach in general. And One Piece, I haven't watched too much of One Piece, so I don't know everything about One Piece like that. But I know his brother and probably his dad, but his mother is what, a question mark or so. I'm not. You gotta educate me on that one. I'm not gonna lie on that one. Asta in the Black Clover universe, Oscar it's just Oscar and his brother with no parents because they was orphans, and they have his story of trying. So everybody has their emotional story. Every single anime every single shonen anime, I should say, have that emotional connection with each character. But outside of that, it's literally breaking down to how you want to be emotional connected. You know what I'm saying? For Naruto, I think the emotion connection for the fans to get involved with is that fact that it's just not Naruto that's just the person you're connecting to. It's legitimately the entire village can all be connected at some point or another. Kakashi never heard nothing about his mother, but we know about his father. His father ended up offing himself because of failing his mission and refusing to leave a comrade behind. And then the village people eradicated and destroy his lifestyle, that he was like, it's better off not me being around, leaving literally his only son to deal with the world of the ninja world and that horrible village that is the hard. Man, I'm telling you, man, that Lynch village. Oh my god, we're gonna have to. Ooh. You have that example, the Uchiyas and everything that happened to them throughout their entire livelihood. Freaking the Uzumaki clan, the exact same thing. The Senju clan, you can argue, probably had the exact same thing, since it's not many Senjus running around because of one man. And then you go to characters like Ten, who one of the worst characters, my personal opinion, doesn't like her that much, but she's just being treated like a side character, like the definition of a side character that probably had more emotional connections if we knew more about her. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with what's that? Iruka Sensei, that he's literally teaching the boy who has the demon fox inside of his body and it's the reason why his parents are no longer alive. It's so like a lot. Like I said, from just the Hidden Leaf Village alone, they have so much broken connections to each other that's emotional connected to one another because of so much crap that happens in that village. But for some reason, everybody wants to stay in that village. That's crazy work. I ain't gonna lie, that is crazy work. So much. There's so much negativity in that village. I hate that. The more you think about it, man, the Hidden Leaf Village, they kind of screwed up a lot of freaking people. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people. But yes, the emotional story can't connect that way. My personal opinion. Like I said, I think even more if you dig deep into it, everyone's backstory. If you really start digging into it, a lot of them got some jacked up backstories. You're like, you know what? That's the reason why they so close to one another. Because golly, that is crazy work. That is definitely crazy. Let's go to 3. Sorry, it skipped up. Naruto gave some of anime's most iconic characters. Oh, there are very few anime that have so many fan favorite characters like Naruto, even many years after the end of the story. Characters like Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, Itachi, Yamato have stayed highlighted stay highly popular among fans. And once I learned how to read, I could do that. The reason behind their popularity lies in the fact that they are more than just shinobi. Their lives have been filled with emotional experiences, hardships, and unforgivable moments. From revealing the truth about Itachi to a pain attacking the village of Konoha and Madara joining the Fourth Ninja War, every moment counts. Now, I do agree. I do agree. I do agree. It's not the only anime that does it. I think a lot of other anime, it's just smaller. They're just small. There's just their smaller fan bases. You know what I'm saying? JJK. Well, I say JJK. Like everybody loves Gojo and JJK. Like every single person I know, they just fall in love with Gojo. But there's no respect to the other ones, and there's no, hey, this is my favorite character from this. You know what I'm saying? It's the bigger anime classes, the Naruto's, Bleach. Bleach is not really another one like outside of not even in Ichigo. I see more of like Kenpachi and stuff more than anything in Bleach. I don't really see too much. So I can toss it in there. One Piece, Dragon Ball. I think it's just the massive anime fans. I think the big anime, the most popular ones, like I said, the big 3 and Dragon Ball, they're gonna have the most iconic characters, and people fall in love with those characters more than any other anime, because there's not many animes that are on the same level as those 4. My personal opinion. Just my personal opinion. My personal opinion. You can argue all you want to, argue on a wall, fam. Not many, like I said, not many animes hit that level of popularity, and when they do, it's not like everybody have different like everybody almost like the exact same characters. In Naruto, you can find out you have the Rock Leaf, and he should be the main character in it. Fans, which I don't understand that one. I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand that. Of course, the toxic Itachi fans from the early 2010s from the 2010s that was acting like he was the best thing since sliced bread in that universe is ridiculous. But I think the only popular ones that rivals those 4 is, of course, is the legendary ones. In my perspective, I call them legendary ones, the ones that's under grief, and that's Pokemon, Digimon, and you can even argue Yu-Gi-Oh, because there's a lot of fan bases in all 3 of those. So, in my personal opinion, that kind of group right there, those are the ones that would argue that what I'm saying has an argument to giving the most iconic characters in animes and stuff like that. That's just my personal opinion, though. Of course, that's my personal opinion. Number 4, Naruto's influence on modern shonen is impossible to ignore. This is a video that I was planning on making like years ago. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Several of the best shonen stories of recent times have adopted elements created and perfected by Naruto. The concepts of rivals, tragic villains, trios, legendary dreams, and growth have all become staples of the genre. And Naruto was very much responsible for that. One of the most recognizable rivals in the anime is Naruto and Sasuke's. The Team 7 trio dynamic is also prevalent in many famous anime as well. The legacy of the story can even be seen in recent shonen works. Just recently, Naruto themes and designs were spotted in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, which generated a lot of buzz online. All in all, Naruto made a significant impact on what fans look for in battle shonen. Not gonna lie, like I said, this was a video I was planning on making. I actually forgot about this. My mind up here, people. I'm cooked a lot. I have so many ideas. I never write nothing down. I just forget about them, and then stuff pops up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I supposed to have done that. It's just what I do. I'm sorry. If I wrote them down, I'd be 10 times better. But that sounds too professional, right? Right. One of the video I was gonna the video I still might make it. I still might make it. Is Naruto's influence on the modern shonen. What I'm meaning by that is that while yes, they're talking about just that the concepts of rivals, tragic. Well, not the rivals part. Rivals been going on for longer than Naruto. You know what I'm saying? Dragon Ball, literally one of the key Dragon Ball rivals, Goku and Vegeta. Tragic villains. Do they do the tragic villains better than anybody else? Probably. Tragic villains. I give them tragic villains. I give them tragic. The trios. You can argue the trios. I can argue. I can also. Yeah. No, I can't argue the trios. I think they got that on lock because that's been a winning formula. Legacy Dreams. You could tie that in with Luffy with One Piece and being the pirate king. So you can go back and forth between those two. And growth. I mean, once again, that's another debatable thing. I'm looking for more towards the tragic villains. I would say yes. The trios is definitely a yes in my personal opinion. But one thing that they leave out, I think that they kind of skip past is the entire having a group to having a group antagonist, in my personal opinion. Because that's major, 10 times major, in my personal opinion. That's major, more than any. I don't, why didn't you add that? They should add that. They should add that. Having a group to deal with. So if you go back to the past, right? Go back to Dragon Ball. Go back to Sailor Moon, Cowboy Beat. Well, not Cowboy Beat, but look at the past, the past animes at that time frame, past shonen animes. If you want to go that far, go back to them and take a look at what their main villains was and how simple it was, right? You fast forward to when the big three came around, and then to the big three came around, Naruto, out of everybody else, Naruto had the Akatsuki, which was a villain group that the main character needs to deal with throughout the rest of the time of the show. From there, in my personal opinion, now like I said, somebody else probably done it too. But I'm like I said, I've been watching One Piece. By the way, I do watch One Piece on the side at times. Not enough, of course, not enough. But within the 100+ episodes or so, they have not introduced a major main villain group for the main characters to deal with. Bleach, another show that I've watched. The 12 captains of Bleach are not the main villains. They are captains in that soul society. That is just their jobs. You know what I'm saying? Naruto, out of the whole three, Naruto's the only one that created this group known as the Akatsuki, which had a goal in mind that we knew at some point will affect Naruto in the future. Sooner or later, it's going to affect Naruto. Since then, every single anime show, shonen wise, they've created groups to push the storyline. In my books, in my writing that I do for my books, I've done the exact same thing. It's easy. It's just easier. It's just easier to write a story and introducing the group. That way, not only does it allow your character, I mean, not only it allows the main character to forcibly grow and get stronger for the series because there are new levels for them to reach. So Demon Slayer, the 12 Keys, that is something that Tanjiro and company has to deal with. I said I was so confident about everything I was getting ready to say. I'm not too for sure exactly where I'm gonna put the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff because the Rare Hunters with Merrick in them. Cause yeah, they had to deal. Cause yeah, Yugi had to deal with them, but that wasn't just his main villain. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else had their crack at the Rare Hunters. But you know, later on, GX they was trying to copy that formula too, which is not even shown in. And Digimon, not the first two seasons. They didn't like the original in season two, but season three they introduced the what they call the 12 Devas, which was like the zodiacs that would resemble the zodiacs. They did that heavily into that to that season right there. That was their whole thing, was having a series of villains, a series like that. And then like you keep passing by, yeah, you pretty much had a group of villains that the characters need to go against. My Hero Academia had it. I don't have all my notes with me. It's not like I have all my anime papers and works. The 12 Deadly Sins did it, with the 10 Commandments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of shows kind of revert back to Naruto doing it. I'm just saying. Now, like I said, I could be wrong. My fault. But in my personal opinion, I think that is, yeah, I think that's them. And if y'all want to know what my group is called, it's called the Big Ten from the Chaos World. I do have everything. I'm gonna upload that either on Sunday or Monday. I'm gonna upload that for y'all to take a look at the Big Ten members. Y'all see that soon. And then number 5, games and collaborations keep Naruto relevant beyond the anime. I'm gonna call that false on that one. I'm not gonna do that. One more factor that contributes to Naruto's popularity is the fact that the franchise did not stop expanding even after the end of the series. Games like Ultimate Ninja Storm keep introducing new fans to some of the most memorable arcs and characters of the series. You said Ultimate Ninja Storm, fam? You didn't want to go? What? No, man. Go ahead. Also, the franchise regularly gets featured in collaboration titles, crossovers, and other gaming uh, endeavors. This allowed Naruto to attract people who have never seen the series in this anime form. Right. I guess they decided to go ahead and say, well, you can watch the animes at. Okay. Now the big question: will any future shonen ever match Naruto's lasting and cultural impact? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. No. Okay. I'm gonna go false on the games and compilation keep Naruto relevant beyond the anime. Mainly reason why I'm saying false to that is because it's part of the big three and it's one of the children of Dragon Ball. So I'm not gonna give you that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna give you that one. No. Not gonna give you that one. It's like I said, part of the big three, one of the children of Dragon Ball. The other children, of course, One Piece and Bleach. But yes, while having the games and stuff is good, this motherfucker said Ultimate Ninja Storm is crazy work. I mean, golly, there's a lot of Naruto games out there. They could have said Shinobi Strike Force and stuff, like the newer games, the mobile games and stuff. I think word of mouth actually helps out a lot more than just, oh yeah, they're part of this new video game. Word of mouth. I have a guy at my job where he's never watched Naruto. He knew what it was to an extent, but never watched it. And then it took him and a friend of his to have a bet of he watched 50 episodes of Naruto and the other person watched 50 episodes of some show that he watched or whatever. And he ended up getting into it and he's in Shippuden right now. I think he started like late last year or so like that. But he also watches other animes in between time to give a break from Naruto because it's such a long series. And plus, it's done anyway. It's not like he's in a rush. So, word of mouth also helps. Video games to an extent, yes. I think personally, I think scrolling through YouTube, the theories behind Naruto, the fact that Naruto gets put up in a lot of death battles and stuff and battle matches and stuff like that also helps him out. So when people discuss and talk Naruto and stuff like NC Hammer 23, like Kai Mizaku, those guys when they discuss Naruto and break it down. And I can't forget about my guy Swag Kage. My fault, Swag. My fault. When those three guys like that, who's a bigger channels and that focus so much on the Naruto verse in general, yeah, they're gonna be the Naruto fan base just keep expanding and expanding. If I decided for the rest of 2026, starting in July, if I said for the rest of the year we're talking about nothing but Naruto, I guarantee you that's gonna attract new fans and more anime fans gonna be like, oh, let me go take a look at Naruto. Or if I say we're gonna jump on Twitch, we're gonna watch Naruto from episode 1 through Shippuden. That's gonna, and then including the movies. I think that would gaining a lot of fan interest in watching the show. So not they're not feeling pressure watching on their own. It's just one of those things. It's one of the big threes too. Like I said, it's one of the big threes. Very popular for many, many reasons. But 5 reasons is still hype. I feel like that was kind of weak. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these articles are getting kind of weak. I'm gonna have to back off these articles, man. I ain't gonna lie. If you write articles, if your job is to write articles and stuff like that, and you do animes and stuff like that, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I'd like to read some more stuff for the channel and give my thoughts on it. That'd be great to do. But I think they could have done. I think they could have added more. But I know that's probably something they did off the top, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I can write this out, get this out." Blah 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 blah. Yeah, but Naruto, fantastic show, still very popular in 2026. I think whenever it all got dropped on Netflix, and Netflix like it was like the most streaming anime outside of One Piece. It was like top dog on that because everybody was tuning in to Naruto. Like I said, it's still weird to me how much people are watching. But then again, it's like I guess I shouldn't be surprised. A lot of folks that love Dragon Ball, a lot of folks love One Piece and Bleach and Naruto. So I shouldn't be surprised, but I still get surprised. I don't know. It's just me though. But y'all let me know what y'all thinking about the 5 reasons why Naruto is still hype in 2026. Make sure you guys hit the like, comments, and subscribe. Those three to the channel to help keep growing the House of Dre. And I'll catch all y'all on the next video.